placements for just startups, or do you also do it for a company that's been around for a while that's becoming established?
Yeah, I mean, we'll do it for companies with revenue of $1 million to $5 billion. So the makeup of that executive is pretty much the same. The difference is the experience that they've had and kind of where they've been in their life and what they've done.
So basically, it's you think it's the same, that it doesn't take different skill sets to do a high-tech startup versus doing a major, large bureaucratic company?
Well, it's interesting because many times when we're doing early stage CEO executive search work, people from very large companies, billion-dollar businesses, will say, you know what? Well, I work in a very entrepreneurial division of this billion-dollar business, so I am so qualified to become a CEO for an early stage company. Well, the problem with that is that they just don't oftentimes understand all the resources that are around them. So when they get there on the first day, they're like, well, where's my executive assistant? And where's the person that gets me coffee? And where's my team of marketing people? And where's my $20 million that I've got to spend on SEO marketing?
Yeah, they have to be ready to be really scrappy.
Yeah, you've got to roll up your sleeves and be cook and bottle washer all at once. And for most people who are already in really big companies, it's too much of a departure from what they're comfortable with. So what we typically do is that we don't discriminate against people with big company experience, but chances are if they've had big company experience and then gone to an early stage company and been successful, then we understand that they know what it is that they're going to have to do to be successful in that job.
Okay, so they can bridge that divide. It's just you need to see a past success already.
Right. No one wants to take a gamble on someone's ability that they think they can do the job. They want to know they can do it.
Well, and there's a problem the other direction, too. It's hard to build a large company if you've never been in a large company. It's hard to see that huge opportunity. So I suppose you get small thinking if you really haven't been exposed to large things as well, right? I mean, it goes the different direction as well.
Exactly. And what you want is someone with cross-functional experience in early and later stage companies so they can pull from their experience in both organizations to make themselves successful where they're going.
Well, do you look for candidates all over the country and world, or do you like to look for candidates inside Silicon Valley?
No, we look for the best people no matter where they are in the country. So, and that's usually the standpoint of the company as well. They don't care where they live or where they're from or what their background is. They just want the best person.
Well, what happens if somebody's failed at a previous opportunity? Does that pretty much eliminate them?
Actually not. That's actually a positive. Because I think Benjamin Franklin once said, failure has no authors, but success has 1,000. So chances are in a company, if it's been really successful for the iPad, for example, there's probably 30 different people at Apple taking credit for the iPad when it was actually one person's idea.
Or a couple, but yes.
Exactly. So,
exactly,
if you think about it, a lot of people learn from failure. And it's what you do from that experience and how you rectify what you're not going to do next is really important to investors, to boards of directors, and other people that are investing in your business model. So if you've never failed, then you're probably not a candidate that a lot of these boards of directors are interested in, because chances are in a new organization, in a new startup, in an early stage company, there's lots of failure all day long, and you've got to learn how to deal with it and how to motivate a team around that.
Well, and I think you can't learn some of these real valuable lessons without failing. Failure is the way you really learn in a lot of cases, unfortunately. Right?
Right, exactly.
And you don't want to wish some of the things that I just know, some of the things that I've gone through. I don't want to wish that on my worst enemy. Well, maybe, but it was awful. But I don't think I would have learned some of those things without that. And without that, you just walk in blind. You walk into a pothole, not even knowing you're walking into it.
Exactly.
Okay, what are the opportunities that now exist out there? Are you seeing certain trends?
We are. In fact, one of probably the biggest trends out there is health technology. And that's kind of the intersection between technology and healthcare. Because if you think about healthcare in general, it's just a big behemoth that really hasn't changed for 100 years. And there are so many new innovative companies out there today that are thinking about different ways to make you healthier, have your experience better with your physician, have your experience better with your hospital. All of these different technologies that literally 5 years ago didn't exist at all and are all about to blossom.
Well, and that will really probably cut costs in the whole healthcare system as people start competing.
Exactly. And it's really kind of the worst nightmare for a lot of these really big healthcare companies.
Oh, I'm sure.
because it's a monopoly for them and they own so much of the market. So a lot of these really smart, disruptive companies are saying, well, why have we done it this way for the past 50 years? Well, isn't there a new way to do it? And I think it scares a lot of big companies out there today.
Well, but we need it so desperately. I mean, we have such a mess going on in the healthcare industry. Are you seeing, from a science standpoint, there's so many cool things that you can do is when you start integrating science and health, high tech and health, robotics and healthcare. It's amazing. Not just automating processes, right? Which is another way that you're seeing, but also when you integrate high tech tools and things in your own body. Are you seeing a lot of that?
Yeah, and we're also seeing kind of the interface of how people deal with care, whether that's through their hospital, whether that's through their physician, because there's so many big data trends now that really allow for a much more seamless experience than most people are seeing today, which can be a really frustrating experience when you have to deal with your physician or your drug company or all of your rehab person for your leg, all these different things that are just making a much smoother process.
So are you seeing the ability for people to take more control over their own health care?
Exactly, because no one's closer to it than you are.
What about the high-tech stuff as far as, because that's more process-oriented, how to, and that's using the data, the databases, really getting that whole environment automated. My sister's a pharmacist and my other sister's a doctor. Mm-hmm. And my pharmacist sister always talks about how things are just so antiquated. It just people die just because they are given the wrong drugs. And, a lot of they're starting to automate prescriptions and things, but doctors don't know when, how the drugs all interact with each other, but the pharmacists do. And, right. And so that whole, problem, but that's taking the tools and technology that we've had for the last 20 years and starting to apply it to healthcare and, them getting out of the dark ages. But what about all these cool advances as far as being able to directly connect to your brain and things like that and really integrating machinery to a person's body? Are you seeing any of that stuff?
That is more on the biomedical side, which we don't do a lot of work because that's a really specialized industry, but it's certainly a growing one.
That's a fun one.
Yeah.
I just had someone talk about how this scientist is working to alter and I don't know if I like this or not, but make you think that vegetables are ice cream. So they can get children to eat their vegetables. And it's actually, they're making huge progress on that. And it's kind of scary in some ways, and it's kind of cool in other ways in the sense of what we can actually do with our bodies. We have to be careful because we've done a lot of stupid things over the last 100 years as far as we think it's good for us, and it ends up creating a multitude of problems. But
well, once they get that finalized, they should send that so I can give it to my kids for sure.
Exactly. My kids are past that now, but man, that would have been really good to have.
Right.
So where do you see the future in general going when it comes to venture capital and placing leadership and so forth?
I think that there is just less room for error today and in the future than there was in the past. And in the past, you really could say to a potential board member or a VC, you know what, this person's really sharp. They've got experience, maybe not in a totally related industry, but we think they've got the ability to take this to the next level. today, and as far as I can see in the future, VCs and investors just aren't willing to make that risk with someone's background like they used to, even though that person could do a great job that
and better maybe.
Yeah, they just are getting more and more conservative as it relates to that.
We have to take a short break, and we'll be back with Richard Henley in a moment.
Hi, everyone. This is Dr. Pat. The ancient Inca root vegetable maca is world-renowned for its wide array of health benefits. As a family-run company of true maca specialists, the maca team's mission is to provide you with fresh, organic, premium quality maca powders at a fair price. Amazing. All of the products are always organically grown, fair-traded, GMO-free, fresh, and potent. So don't take my word for it. Experience the life-changing benefits of maca today. Visit themacateam.com.
There are so many resources out there for meditation. But did you know that Atana's Heart Earth Healing Meditation is available for you for free? Yes, that's right. You can receive this free healing meditation today from Atana Badili. All you need to do is visit his website, atanamethod.com. That's ATAANA method.com, and sign up. You will receive your free meditation instantly. That's atanamethod.com.
Are you ready for a game changer? Sarah Westall is bringing you Business Game Changers Radio. Sarah brings you leading experts, visionaries, and newsmakers who provide the best commentary on big issues and cutting-edge innovations. Sarah's 20 years as a business executive will help you think like an entrepreneur with expertise, energy, and attitude. Tune into Business Game Changers Mondays at noon Pacific, 3 Eastern on TransformationTalkRadio.com.
Hey everyone, this is Dr. Pat. I am so thrilled. I've had the honor of working with Leslie Fontaine for the past year or so, and what she has created in her hit program, Sheer Alchemy, transcends what most of us get to listen to or hear in any point in time in our lives. But beyond that, Leslie is working with people all over the world, and she has created something phenomenal based on the feedback and input from the archangels, from the ascended masters, from the light beings, and most importantly, from each and every one of you. So if you want to change your life, if you're ready to step into your own version of sheer alchemy, please give Leslie a call at 678-665-3366. And why? Because this is what you're going to be prepared to do. Be amazed, and on your part, connect with the ascended masters that are there to help you custom make the life that you are meant to live.
A word of caution: if you prefer the status quo and you are not interested in improving every aspect of your life, this book will trigger the shift out of you. The Truth is Funny, Shift Happens is available now. Author Colette Steffen brings the powerful knowledge and life-changing energy and empowerment from the radio airwaves to the pages of her new book. To get your copy in paperback or ebook, visit thetruthisfunny.com today.
And we are back. This is Sarah Westall with Business Game Changers, and we're talking to Richard Henley about executive CEO placement in Silicon Valley startup companies. And if you want to find more information on his company, which is LGS Executive Search, you can find that on my website at sarahwestall.com. And you can also find other information on other past shows and episodes, and also provide comments there as well. So now let's rejoin Richard Henley.
So we're on that pendulum swing, I think, because that's happening with employees as well. Companies are looking for the exact right employee. I know that, a couple decades ago, they were looking for the people with the right abilities, and then they figured they could take the right person and mold them into what they want. And now companies are just looking for the exact person. But do you see that as eventually going to be a problem? Because how do we develop new people if we're already just, we're only looking for the people that are around now?
I think it's going to be tougher for someone without specific experience in that industry to break in. And it's really going to have to have them focus on their network to convince some of these people that they are the right fit for them to even get a shot in the future.
But they're going to have a progression plan, maybe, right? Start as like an executive. Now, do you ever take like a VP and place them as a CEO because they just had great experience there?
One of the things that we try and do is show all of our clients a broad range of folks. So here is someone who's absolutely perfect for the role. Here's someone who's